The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
Octo Nation, it's Charlie. I'm going to be your host for today. Today we're taking a look at a couple of random charts that we're going to go over. We got lots to go over on the charts. I found some good lines though, so be stick around and take a look. We've also got some news for Kensington Capital. Remember KCAC? This is the automotive play we've talked about before. There's been some articles already hyping it. Right now, the units are the only thing out there available currently this very second. Those come with a full half warrant, so you can still try to get in on those if you would like. But what they announced is that their split is going to happen on Monday. So this came out. I thought this was pretty cool. So it'll be exciting to see where these warrants go and what the commons do, or if they don't do anything or not. So it'll be something to watch. But in this SEC filing that I was reading this morning, I found a little nugget in there, and it might be a big deal and it might not be a big deal, but what happened is they removed the word American from its target list, okay? So before they had said, well, right now they have, although we are not limited to a particular industry or sector for purposes of consuming business combination, we intend to focus its search for a target business in the automotive and automotive related sector. Right? So before, if you remember, they specifically said American automotive and automotive sector. So I thought that stuck out like a sore thumb. Right when I read it, I knew it. I was like, dude, they used to say American, so now they're not saying anymore. So has everyone seen this video that I did about VIA Motors? The title of this video was Electric Car Company You've Never Heard of, Possible Merge with HCAC or KCAC. You haven't checked that out, but I go into VIA and how that's a possible target for them. But since they removed that, I think there's a different target they could be going after. I think I might have it. So the VIA has actually pivoted now to Mexico for production. So this could still fit the goal. So VIA it's kind of a complicated story with them, but they have like some hybrid GM vehicles that they converted and are for sale right now. But they also are working with a big company called VIA or not VIA, it's like VA or something like that in Mexico, right? And what they're doing is they're bringing all these like Chinese brands over, like 5 different brands of Chinese vehicles. Then they're taking basically their skateboard, okay, because they've got a skateboard too, VIA does, and they're gonna plug it up into these Chinese bodies and launch all those through Mexico and every other channel they get. Okay, but what about the Ron Motor Group? Remember how we talked about them too? There's a link here if you want to check out their website, but here's one of the cars that they've produced. I kind of like it in purple, looks pretty sweet. I like that picture. But so Ron Motor Group, they actually came out with a filing that came out, I think it was like 5 days ago or something. We talked about it, but I just skimmed over it, but there's a lot of good information here, so let's go over it. So they announced they have got a hydrogen fuel cell SUV, so a small SUV named the Mist, anticipated for limited release in California and China markets in 2022. I was listening to an interview with this Ron guy. He was saying the reason only California and China is because they're the ones who have adopted the hydrogen fuel cell theory more than other places, and so it's easier to get them filled up and figure all that out if you're in California and LA or whatever, of course. So the fully engineered SUV named the Mist is the first to be built on our new Q Series multi-platform SUV, sedan, MPV, all-electric / hydrogen fuel cell chassis. Yeah, so that's basically kind of their skateboard too. So Ron has got a skateboard. The difference though with the Ron one is that it's also got like the / hydrogen fuel cell. So you know how most electric vehicles are, they're about 250 mile range is what kind of everyone's saying, like 230, 270, somewhere in there. Well, he's saying that it's almost triple that, so that you can get about 750 mile range when you add in the hydrogen fuel cell to it. So that's huge. And I was also looking like hydrogen fuel cell versus lithium batteries, and you can almost like 10x your efficiency by adding that stuff in to it. So it's pretty crazy. So he's going to take design cues from the Scorpion. That's the one that's up there. Ron's globally recognized hydrogen-enhanced supercar, the Mist. and will keep the sporty look, stylistic features, as well as complete package of engineering first. It's engineered in the United States by a team of automotive industry experts to exceed all global safety requirements. Represents the first modular BEV hydrogen fuel cell flexible platform that maximizes the wheelbase for best-in-class interior space and distinct modern appearance. Let's see, excessive use of the latest engineering, modeling, and simulation tools to deliver multi-material design, manufacturing optimizations for weight performance that deliver a best-in-class driving experience. He said that we are a company extremely excited to announce our fully engineered all-electric fuel cell multi-vehicle platform and having many breakout moments in the capital markets. Our vehicle is fully engineered, computer tested for certifications in both China and US. So that's very important. We've talked about that before, how stuff like Workhorse is already, it took them, they said, I guess about 2 years to fully get their certification. So these guys aren't saying they fully have them, but they said they've already tested for them and they should be totally good to go in both China and the United States. And your European supply chains have been developed, and our body design teams are earnestly working to the final design for release to the public. Engineering and manufacturing development have come into alignment both in the US and China. We have approached by several SPACs, special purpose acquisition companies, in the last several weeks and are currently in discussions. So several SPACs going after them. So Jerry Levine, our new executive in charge of product development and a former Ford executive, added, the Mist SUV will define the global benchmark for product features and performance that are only achievable with Ron Motor Group's all-new dedicated hydrogen fuel cell platform. And technically this could still be Hennessy. So just keep that in mind. If the Hennessy thing drops and it's not even the Canoe, and that was just a bogus rumor, because remember, that's still not totally 100% in. It could be these guys. So we need to know this, who these guys are. So the Ron Motor Group has grown into a multinational company with 80 executives, which is nuts, and engineers in both the United States and China. It plans to launch the market first mid-duty class 3 to 6 fuel cell logistic truck in late 2021. This will be produced in a joint venture with China. So what is that? What is a mid-duty class 3 to 6? That's basically like I think it's like a medium-sized semi-truck basically. Okay, so that's huge also. These guys are also producing buses. It has also completed engineering and supplier certification of a pre-production SUV sedan platform that plans to launch all-electric fuel cell electric SUV and sports cars in 2022. So these guys are ahead of a lot of companies right now. RMG has formed 2 joint ventures in China, formed a joint venture with Chinese truck manufacturers in one of its existing truck plants, which is 2 hours away from Shanghai. Owns the manufacturing facilities with an estimated asset value of over 100 million, with over 2 million square feet of manufacturing space. Holy Toledo. The joint venture partner QQQ Group is a well-established automaker in China with an annual production value of 500 million and fixed assets of 3 billion. It has more than 2,000 employees. RMG plans to produce the Logic truck in this joint venture, leveraging Kiwi's truck platform experience and expertise, as well as licenses, etc. They formed another joint venture with Chinese taxing municipal government, also 2 hours away from Shanghai. The joint venture partner committed 20 million and has already invested 2.2 million in the joint venture. It has also provided them a new 3-floor office building rent-free as China headquarters in prestigious Hongkou district of Shanghai. Chinese Qingdao municipal government has issued pre-orders for vehicles that could equal 200 million. Do you hear that? So the government has issued pre-orders for $200 million worth of rigs. That's huge. So they've got a government contract for 200 million. The initial focus will be fuel cell logistic trucks. Strategic partnership in place to build an additional automobile manufacturing facility. Ron was named the new hydrogen ambassador, probably in China. All right, so the company is partners with supplier similar to Nokia and others, Bosch Powertrain, Met Labs Software, Roosh Engineering, you heard of them? Elring Klinger, all major OE global suppliers. So this is huge. These guys are on track. They even got a free office space. Hey, that's great. I mean, it sounds like they're on it. This is the semi over here on the left, which is super sick looking. It looks like some face out of Star Wars. Yeah. But look do you realize how small that front end is there? I thought that was kind of interesting, right? So I mean, that's going to take up a lot less space if that's truly what's going to look like. There's that supercar. I think that's the Stinger or Scorpion or whatever. And then over here is that bus that they've already got contracts with. So that is absolutely huge. So who's this Jerry Levine guy they just brought in? He was the North American full-size car and CUV programs design engineering, North American car and truck programs for Ford. So he's the chief engineer of Ford for 3 years and 3 months. That's pretty huge. And then he was also an engineering manager, design engineering mid-size, full-size cars for Ford also. So he just brought this dude on. They've got teams from all over. And then, so what does everyone think of that? Huh? You think that is a possibility for KCAC? I definitely think it is, especially because it's like kind of an American play, but it's more of like a lot of Chinese stuff going on. So I think that they could have possibly removed the American title because they don't want to get pinned to that and get in trouble for it. I think it's a pretty big deal if they removed it. What do you think? Let's move into some charts. We got to take a look at some stuff here. Okay, first of all, SPY. Dude, look how close. This is the all-time high line right here. It like almost dusted it. It didn't touch it, but it just like so close. So all-time high is at 338.74. It was at 3. It got to 338 like 45, like within 20 cents of all-time highs again. You see that back when we hit in February before the big dump. So this is still going to be interesting to see what happens here. We still got to watch it. It's still been riding that channel up. It did break down, so we've got kind of another channel riding up, but it still looks dangerous. There still wasn't, we had that pretty big pullback in about June 10th, June 9th, but there hasn't been too big of a pullback since then, and if it does pull back, it's probably going to hit us all the way back to 322. So just watch this. We need to find out we're super close. What if it just consolidated for like a month just straight across? Up until election. Wouldn't that be crazy? Oh my gosh. And then QQQ, so this is big tech. So I saw something on this, and this scared me. Okay, let's zoom in here. Why did this scare me here? Because, see this up here? Let me draw this line for you. So see how you got these two horns that come up? Doom, doom, like that, okay? This is what's called like a double top pattern. And when this is not good is if, let's see, we got to draw a line here too. Now, if this corrects down to, let's call it like 266. So if Monday this thing opens up and it starts tanking down to 266, chances are that it's going to start heading way down, okay? Down to at least probably the 255. But this totally looks like a total tabletop, double top. It's literally straight across. You could put a piece of wood right on top there. And if it breaks, just watch this. If it breaks this right here, 266.87-ish, it's probably not going to be good. And it's probably going to head down to 255, and then who knows? And remember, like a lot of the SPY is basically getting held up by tech, just a QQQ for the most part. So watch that, keep it in mind. The dollar is still riding right out this channel that we've drone in, still continuing down though. It did have a spike up, a little fake out, but kept going down. TLT, so what happened here, remember I was saying that, last week that if it broke out of here, I was going to be probably a buyer around, 174, 175, because then it was probably heading to 178 again. And what happened? It broke down, so I'm glad I didn't buy it. I didn't emotionally buy, so that's good. I was waiting for it to break that. What happened though too, I wasn't even paying attention, but the government had an auction, right? So they basically got rid of theirs. So they dumped a bunch back, and that's what a lot of this volatility is, straight down. So still something to watch. Still, if if the QQQ ends up jackknifing, and going breaking that channel down from that tabletop, again, just watch the TLT because it's gonna then go absolutely bull on us. All right, let's take a look at AMCI. I don't know if you saw my video, was it yesterday, about them? Got some good information. This actually opened up, and then it actually rode. It actually rode today. I think it ended up like 22% or something up for the day. Ended up still 13.4% up, but I ended up getting tagged out because it had a little bit of volatility down. So I'm still contemplating getting back in this one because I like this play. Expect, if it goes for like a green miner or something like that, which it kind of sounds like it's going for, or hopefully even like charging station for electric vehicles, which would be even sweeter. Something slightly green. I mean, it's still only trading at about 46 cents. I think I'm going to try to put a buy in maybe around like 55 cents or something, try to catch it on the way up. But I don't know if I would just kind of enter this. I'm also, if I do get tagged in or get back in, I'm definitely going to, write a decently tight sell on it because it is almost end of life here. The thing that really makes me positive about this is how they were saying how they do have, it sounded like multiple targets in line. So it even sounds like they still have that copper miner in line too. So it sounds like no matter what, they're going to have a target. But, with SPACs nowadays, even a decent target stuff's not moving. So it's still sketchy, super sketchy play, but obviously you can make some quick bucks. So protect yourself, but let me know. Let me know what your plays are on that. Silver, what happened to silver today? Had a little sell off. Jumped around a little bit, but what happened is it gave us a nice set of lines here that I drew in earlier for us. So what does this look like? This looks like a wedge that is going to reverse out and start going bull. It's like a bull wedge, bull flag pattern. When we've got that channel going like this, about a 45-degree down, more than likely it is going to eventually break this green line. Where are we at right now? We're sitting about 26.45. So if we break probably this 26.75 again, it'll probably head to the 27.50. So I got emotional on this and I got tagged out yesterday because I had bought here, I think, and got tagged out here. It was riding this, and I already had this green channel up here, right? And so I knew that I need to wait until it gets fully out of there and gets above these two lines before I put a buy in. But what did I do? It came back down, and I thought, I don't care, it's gonna keep going up because I know better, right? And so I went ahead and bought. I ended up getting sold or stopped out because I had a stop right below it. So whatever, not too big of a loss whatsoever on that. But regardless, I should have known, right? It's got to get past here before we get some better confirmation. But again, it's now set us up. I mean, you can see how many times this thing get tagged. 11 times is only the hour chart. Just wait till you went lower. So we've got this nice, beautiful looking channel. I think still the macro picture is this is still going to be going up until at least election time. And then from there, we'll have to see what happens. But I still think silver and the precious metals are still going to be going up in the big picture. Still protect yourself though. AGQ. Yeah, so and to confirm, I don't get into the silver. I actually buy the AGQ, which is the 2X. So same story though, it's just more up, more down, right? SHLL. So y'all did some good dance moves today. You still went up, but unfortunately it started going back down. We zoom out, I did find a little channel here. That channel doesn't look good. You guys had one, back here, and this is where I was looking at buying. I just never pulled the trigger on it, But you had, this is a bull flag, started going here, and then what happened? It bulled up. But now it looks real aggressive, what's going to happen with it? I don't know. It's probably going to try to consolidate. It looks like it's trying to consolidate around the 24.50. And we'll just have to see next week. But you had some massive, that's a big sell-off candle there. The 1 hour today. Yeah, that was today. So just watch this. The next line you need to watch though is at 25.42. if I were to get in this, and I don't know that I am at this point. It's just too risky. There's so many other plays where you can multiply your money a lot faster, it looks like to me. But if I were, I would definitely try to get in above this line here, which is at 26.50, 26.84. Because other than that, it's probably going to just tag around here. We'll have to see. But again, the next one is at 25.42. So watch that, and then watch this top here at 26.50 if you are looking to entry on this. Workhorse, let's take a look. So what is happening here? We've got this wedge thing. It's kind of, I don't even know if I want to call that a bull flag. I mean, it's possibly, but I didn't want to say that. It's stopped. It came down to this massive line here, at the 15.39, and it's wanting to ride that. It's just riding that, chopping that wave. I'd like, I'm thinking it's going to probably come up and ride that a little bit more. Zoom out. What do we got? Yeah, I still think we're going to need some more news to really kick this thing, up over 1841 again. We're going to need some sort of announcement on something before this pops out of there. Until then, we're probably going to get more of this chop consolidation stuff. Maybe back up and ride the channel around 16.50 and just chop around. But if we get good news, it can totally sky to the moon. Any other plays y'all want me to take a look at this weekend? I've got, of course, a bunch of videos I'm already working on other specific companies. Let me know down in the comments. If you haven't heard, we're giving away more silver. All you got to do to enter is just be in the United States and not be at a military address and leave a comment, and you're automatically entered. So thanks again, everyone. You have a good rest of the night.